So let's see how we can use destructuring in functions. First, I'm gonna show you the old method, destructuring functions, and we're gonna call this one old method. So let's say that we have a function that is called a reservation. It's going to validate when a reservation is made. So for example, let's say that it takes two parameters, complete and the options. So we're gonna call this right here reservation, and I'm gonna open the parentheses, and in the case of complete we're gonna pass through, and in the second one is going to be an object, so it's going to be like this. We can add, for example, also add enter right here, enter right here. This is going to be more organized. So for example, we can pass some options right here. We can pass, for example, payment method equals to credit card, and comma, and let's add another one. This is going to be the amount, 3,000, and finally the days that this reservation covers is going to be 3. So here is where we are going to use destructuring to access these values. Remember, this is going to be the old way. I'm gonna show you the new way also. So basically, options is going to be equals to options, or in case that it is empty, is going to be equals to an object. And for example, you can use let payment equals to options, and then you're going to map these options, payment options. So for example, if you console log the options right here and save this, you can see we're passing all the options. In case that you don't pass this, this is going to be an empty object. Right here, and added something else. You can see this is going to be an empty object. So here we're adding, in case that the option has something, it's going to pass this into the options. In case that the options is empty, we're gonna create an empty object. You can see we have the empty object right here. And I'm gonna redo, and I'm gonna pass this object with the options. And you can see we have the object with the options. And here we're gonna try to access each of these. So we're gonna add a comma, and I'm gonna add another variable called amount. It's going to be equals to options, a dot, and it's going to be amount. And finally, it's going to be days. It's going to be equals to options, and a dot, days. So from here you can console log each of these. Console log payment, console log amount, and console log the days, because we have extract the values. Save this, and you can see we have credit card, we have the 3,000, and we have 3 in the days. So let's see how we can use destructuring in the new method. You can see this requires a lot of code, and it looks a little messy. It doesn't look right, in my opinion. So we're gonna remove this. And I'm gonna change this to the new method. The new method is going to be more cleaner, because we're going to add, for example, right here, let, and we open the braces, and then we're gonna access each of these. So we're gonna add payment method, and again this has to match. So we need to name this as they are right here, and a comma right here, and days, and finally this is going to be equals to the options that we're passing into this function. So copy this and paste right here, and from here you can console log each of these. Payment method, you can console log the amount, and you can console log the days, and this is going to give the same result. But you can see that this code looks more cleaner than the other one. The other one was a little messy. So for example, let's say that I remove these days, save these, you can see we have undefined. So we can use also destructuring to pass or to add some default parameters into the function. And I'm gonna add with default parameters. So this is going to be the example. Right here, instead of having these options, I'm gonna remove that, and I'm gonna add enter right here. So this is going to be like this. Then right here, I'm gonna add the braces. So this is going to be the object properties. So right here, we need to add payment method, and you can add the default parameter. So let's say that we have cash like this, then amount, So let's add 0 because this is going to be the default in case that this doesn't execute this, or the person didn't add this. And finally, we're going to have days is going to be 0. So this is going to be helpful, especially if the reservation was not completed. So you can see we have the braces right here, then we have the parentheses, and then we open the curly braces, which this is going to be the body of the function. Finally, we need to remove this because this is going to be, we have already the values right here. We have the default values, so we need to remove that. And right here after these curly braces, I'm gonna add equals to this object. So you can see in the last example we have undefined. I saved this. So the last example we have undefined here, and you can see that we didn't pass the days. So it's going to return the default parameter. If you add something like days 20, something like this, then it's going to take this value. So let's say that we, in the reservation, we pass this as the completed was false, and also we didn't pass anything here. It's going to be like this, then it's going to be cash, and the amount is going to be 0, and the days are going to be 0. So you can see how clean this solution is using destructuring, and this is one of the new features in JavaScript. Hopefully you have liked this. So let's continue working. In the next video we're gonna see what are the symbols. We saw symbols when we start the fundamentals of JavaScript in the data types. In the next video we're gonna see some examples using symbols and also some methods that you can use with a symbol.